Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to take the top 100 designs on Amazon Merch on Demand. I'm going to use Flying Research to find those, and then I'm going to upload those to ChatGPT and then see what kind of data can ChatGPT give me. So I'm going to share that with you. I think it's really cool that it can analyze this data. We're going to see like what are the top colors, what kinds of things that we can get from here. Now the top 100 always changes, so this is the top 100 for 2026 or January 2026. But I think it can be a great insight on what kinds of things people are buying for Amazon, so that we can take that information and make designs that could sell on Amazon. It's not a guarantee, but I think it helps to give us the best chances of getting something that people want to buy. So first, let's get into Flying Research and I'll show you the top 100. Alright, so first things first, we're here Flying Research. If you don't have Flying Research, I'll put a link in the description, but this is by far, I think, the best research tool for Amazon Merch on Demand. At least I think so. I haven't tried all of them, but this, you can see how much it has here. One of the things I like is that it's the best sellers right here. This is how I did it. And we're not going to do all marketplaces. We're going to just do United States. You can do whatever marketplace you want on here. I could do all marketplaces as well, but I think I'm just going to do United States. So this is Amazon.com, and I'll hit the search right here, and it's just searching t-shirts. You can search other things too. They even have the mugs now. And then starting, so the BSR, we're going to see top BSR. So by BSRs, that's the best selling rank, and so this is the #1 selling Amazon Merch on Demand t-shirt right now, according to Flying Research. So what I did is I came down here and I just downloaded. So you can come in here and download this just to get an idea, and I did it for all 100 here. And I made it, well, there's more than 100, but I did it for the first 100 here. And I put it on 2 different slides. So I'll show you this right here. These are all 100 that I did. It took me a little while, but I'm uploaded this to ChatGPT to show me or get data, analyze it, because I could do it too. I could be like, well, there's more black ones here, but what are some other things that I can learn from here? So I'm going to go to ChatGPT here. I don't want this to be too long, but there's so much data that it did. So you can see here, these are the 2 that I downloaded or uploaded here after I downloaded. And this is what it says. So first thing first, shirt-based color dominance, very clear signal. 70 to 75% of these are on black t-shirts. No surprise. We all know that black t-shirts are huge. The next one is dark heather. Next one, navy, dark green, and then only 5 to 7% are on light colors. So you can look at this both ways. More people like buying black t-shirts, yes, but there's not as many, at least, of light white t-shirts. So that could be a way to stand out. But I think, for me, I think black, like it says, is not just dominant, it's structural. So make sure to at least do a dark design on black, or a design that works on black. Second thing, ink and design color trends. So by far, just white on black is the #1. But then we have some bright primary colors on black. We have some neon colors that we saw on black. Orange was a very strong secondary color, mainly I think for that Miami stuff. Don't do Miami on there, at least the sports Miami. I would stay away from that. We also have rainbow color palettes, especially for 100 days. So there you go. So palette colors, it says right here. Surprise insight, this is not a muted distressed vintage heavy bestseller set. These are loud, reliable classroom colors, at least right now. I think it's because of the 100 days of school. We're seeing the 6-7 and all of that right now, where there's just this bright school colors. Topic breakdown. We saw 100 days of school. Roughly 60 to 65% of all designs had something to do with 100 days of school, because we're right in there. Other strong topics were animals and attitude. So we had a lot of dogs and bears, a lot of bears, sports, bears, cats, and dinosaurs. So keep that in mind. School humor, teacher humor and stuff. Big, of course, 100 days of school again. and patriotic. So these are some of the things that are selling right now. No specific thing except for maybe 100 Days of School, but you can see more broad topics you can still do. People love to buy animals and school stuff and patriotic stuff right now in January. Next thing it found was typography patterns. So bold, chunky, rounded, sans serif dominant, all caps. A lot of them, 80% had just all caps. Stack layouts. So you can see it's pretty cool. It's saying there's not a lot of script fonts, almost none. Serif elegance was missing, subtle humor, and so on. So these designs are optimized for distance readability, not just aesthetics. So big, bold designs selling on Amazon right now, at least in the top sellers, because one, I think because of school, and two, just because it stands out a lot bigger. Layout and composition rules, usually centered chest, full rectangle feel. I always say to do the tall rectangle, and they do that. Big numbers, we saw a lot of big numbers with 6, 7, and 100 and things like that. And text wrapping. Illustration style signals, you can see a lot of flat vector design style, thick outlines, simple shading, sticker-like shapes, and so on. So I think that was interesting that it came up with that. Number 7 is, and I think we knew this, is that humor really sells. So humor style is very specific. Humor is literal humor, declarative humor, kid-safe humor, slightly sarcastic but harmless humor. Here are some examples, like bruh, I survived, level unlocked, and so on. And then let's see, I'll go to number 8, repeatable winning design formulas. So Formula 1 is the safest. Black shirt, big white text, large numbers, bright accent colors, flat vector icons. Formula 2, animal hook, black t-shirt again, cartoon animal, sunglasses. It's interesting that it did this because I'm going to ask it for 10 different ones, and these are just some of them. So gamification, it solved that for gamers and teachers. So again, numbers, animals, gamification, teachers. What's overdone versus opportunity? So overdone, of course, it's way too many of the 100 days. You're going to get buried in that. So unless you have a really good idea of something new, I would probably do something else. Here are some opportunities though. Cleaner versions of these layouts, same formula but fewer colors, adjacent events, maybe they're different than the 100 days, maybe something else that's coming up. And then it gave me a final strategy. But the next thing is it asked me this. Extract 5 to 10 design templates. You know how much I love templates. So here are the templates that it told me, and I'm going to go break it down. So I also asked it to give me examples of them, and I made some myself. So let's get into there. I'm going to give you the top 10 templates according to ChatGPT that we should be doing for Amazon to get better sales, or at least a better chance of getting sales, because it's analyzing the data and seeing people are buying these. At least these are in the top 100, so we can kind of design around these styles. Now, they're not specific topics, they're more design, so I'll show you what I mean. All right, so the first template that ChatGPT suggested is the big number anchor. I talked about this earlier, and they call this the king because they see this a lot. And so this is what ChatGPT designed out of this. So it breaks it down from layout, colors, fonts, what works, and why it wins. So I'm going to go over this real quick. I don't want this to be a very long video, so I may skip over some of this. But basically, giant number takes up 40 to 50% of the design. Stacked above and below, icons sprinkled about, colors, black t-shirt, white number, 3 to 5 adjacent colors, what kinds of font, thick rounded sans, outlined the numbers. And so that's why I did here. This is their example. And I did this right in here in Affinity. So you can see these are the fonts I used and the colors I used and so on. So I've tried to use some bright accent colors. It said to outline the number, so I did, and so on. So I think that could be really cool. Again, 100 Days of School is super saturated, but I just wanted to show you how to do what this is saying. We could do other things. It could be a year, for example, school milestones, age, birthdays. I was born in anniversaries for work. And fitness streaks. Maybe I'm about 100 days in the gym or something like that. But yeah, this is why it wins. It says numbers read instantly in thumbnails, and when everything's on there on Amazon, you can see the number come out. And if it's something that people are looking for, I think it can really help. So template number 2, they're saying the I survived declarative stack. So it doesn't have to be I survived 100 days of school. So I did this one. I survived another weekend. So you can have some funny things there, but basically it's the I survived with something else. So this is the phrase, and you can take a look at this. I'm not going to go all over it because I think when we have 10 here, it's just going to make this 10 minutes long. So I'm going to try and keep this really short, but you can see the colors, the style, what works, who's it works for, and why it wins. Template number 3 is the level unlocked. So this is for anything for school. This is the gamer UI stuff. This is the one I did. This is the one they did, or ChatGPT did. And this is just text in here. I'm using some pixel fonts here, and I grabbed all the design stuff from Canva actually. So and made some of these squares. I was just making it with the square thing. But this is kind of what it says. Have the controller, progress bars, pixels, badges, again, black t-shirt, neon colors, and so on. So that's what I followed here to get this, and I think it turned out pretty good. All right, here's template number 4. I think this one's really cool. Cartoon animal hero. This is still really big. Make sure to do some research on what cartoon or what animals are really popular right now. I think I did a video for that months ago. So you can see what I did here. I just found this on Canva, brought it in, and then just text, right? Because that's what it said. Large central animal, sunglasses or hat, and then phrase arched above or below. That's what I did. I arched it above, put it below. High contrast sticker like by having the white around it, because it says right here white outline. So that's what I did, white outline. So I think mine turned out really cool. It's really simple, and these are the kinds of things that sell on Amazon. Again, we're not talking specific phrases. This is just design. You could, chicks dig me isn't necessarily a trending topic or a trending phrase, but you could find a trending phrase and then put an animal in here, or come up with a really funny phrase and hopefully get some sales. Template number 5, according to ChatGPT, is what they want to call the tally mark grid countdown. So they saw a lot of this because of the 100 days of school. There's other ways to do this. This is saying tally, but when I looked at the 100 designs on there, some of them were using baseballs, some of them were using other things. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a tally, but that's what this is saying. So I got rows of tally marks. You can see I just drew them. They're just in here with the pencil tool. I just click and made a sign here, and it said on here 1 accent color for the final. So I did that here. And bold sans, so you can see this is a bold sans. It really found out that sans serif, or without the serifs, have been used a lot more than serif fonts in the 100 design. So that's why a lot of these are sans serif. And I did some colors on here. It said 1 accent color for the final count, but it didn't say the other things. But because this is for school, I made it more of a rainbow color. But you could do this for teachers, parents, survivorship themes, and so on. I think people like, or at least they say that people like this because it's visual proof of endurance, that you went the whole 100 days. All right, template number 6 is what they call the rainbow block letters. Now I didn't do one here because I think this one did a good job of all using the rainbow block or rainbow colors, but using block letters. So big stack text, each letter different color, minimum icons. So full rainbow of colors, not just 2 or 3 colors. You got the rainbow, and high saturation of colors. And you can see some of these other things. ChatGPT did mention overuse carefully because there's a saturation risk of doing this over and over, and because there's a lot of people that are doing this right now. Template 7, according to ChatGPT, is the badge seal, the controlled version. I don't exactly like this one, but this is kind of what they're talking about with the circular badge. I made my own here, really simple, but you could do a shield as well as a circle. put the main phrase inside. We see this a lot on Amazon, as well as this is kind of a basic layout thing that is used all the time. Great for vintage stuff. 2 to 3 colors max, white dominant again, and again the bold condensed sans. So I could do a little more condensed, but this is a sans serif. There's no serif on there. Template 8 is what they call phrase plus micro icons. The phrase is the main thing, which I tried to do here, and then small icons in between or between words. I did this little picture. You can do little things here. I think little icons can work, but I have a full picture here as well. It could have been anything, but the idea is that the phrase is the main thing. The words are the things. And then just one accent icon color. I kind of stepped away from that, but you can do the one icon color. Big bold sans, slightly playful, so that's why I picked this sans, because it's more playful. So it works for humor, short phrases. There's high readability and low clutter, so the words stand out, and so you gotta have a really good funny or something that is motivational. I think could work too. Okay, template number 9 from ChatGPT is the character set and statement split. So they're saying on the top half have the animal or character, then text block on the bottom half, and a hard separation line. So you can see in their example that's what they did. This is what I did. I got this from ChatGPT. I actually put a line in there in Affinity, and then use two sets of fonts here. This one's sans serif, but then I did something here to kind of more match the horse. But it's text is mostly white, which is what I did. I just added the color for the year. And lastly, template 10, they call it minimal but loud. So this is called the sleeper. 1 or 2 big words only, which is I did here. They did a lot more words in their example. Oversized text, which is what I did here. No icons, so I didn't put any icons, which they did put icons, which is weird. White text and 1 accent color, which I did the reverse. So actually, this should be white. Let's do that. Let's see. This should be white, and maybe this is the accent color, like that. I think that's kind of what they were talking about. So there you go. Big bruh, number 1. I think that's good, and because it said bruh style humor, that's why I did bruh here. But it stops the scroll without visual noise because it's just words. So if you can find a couple of words that stand out, that make people want to buy it, I think this is something that can sell on Amazon. You don't see it a lot because it's hard to find those 2 words that are going to be something that people actually gravitate to. So have fun with this one. And there you go. Those are all the 10 templates that Amazon or ChatGPT says that we should do or use for getting sales on Amazon, at least according to the 100 designs that I gave them as examples. So there you go. That's all the data I got from ChatGPT. By doing that, you can do it yourself too. If you want to use Flying Upload and download those, you can do it for other countries. You can do it for specific niches and so on. It's really easy. I'll put a link in the description for Flying Upload if you don't have it. If you want to learn more about Flying Upload, I have this video right here that I did going over some of the other things that it does, not just that bestsellers. It does a lot more, and I share what the prices are and everything. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully you get a lot of sales this year in 2026. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.